What's up, everyone? It's one of my favorite times of the year. The Men's College World Series is back. This is the 75th year in a row. It will be hosted in Omaha, Nebraska. And most of you probably know by now, but it runs a little bit like this. 64 teams start out in the men's tournament. It's reduced down to 8 teams through regional and super regional tournaments. And then those 8 teams travel to Omaha, Nebraska to compete in the College World Series, which is a 10-day double elimination tournament to crown the next national champion. So with regionals and super regionals wrapping up yesterday and the tournament starting on Thursday, we now have an idea of exactly who will be competing this year. The 2022 College World Series will include Arkansas, Auburn, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Stanford, Texas, and Texas A&M. The tournament is fun and the atmosphere is incredible, but the financial figures behind the College World Series might be the most interesting part. This is the 75th anniversary of the tournament in Omaha, Nebraska. It was previously held at Rosenblatt Stadium for 60 years, from 1950 to 2010. That was a 20,000 seat stadium, but the tournament then moved to TD Ameritrade Park, which is now known as Charles Schwab Field. That opened in 2011. It cost $150 million in construction costs, and the venue seats about 25,000 fans, with the ability to expand to 35,000. And this tournament isn't going anywhere, because when the new stadium was being built in 2010, the NCAA and the nonprofit that runs the tournament every single year in Omaha announced a contract extension that will keep the College World Series in Omaha till at least 2035. And while the new stadium is shiny and luxurious, the economic impact that is provided to Omaha every single year through this tournament cannot be understated. Here's some interesting facts that I saw from an economic study that was released by the World Series of Omaha back in 2019. The College World Series attracted more than 360,000 in-person spectators in 2021. That was a new record, and more than 70% of the attendees come from outside of Omaha in a typical year. The economic impact of the College World Series in Omaha was determined to be $88.3 million annually, a nearly 40% increase from the $63.7 million annually in 2014. The 2019 College World Series generated $8.7 million in local and state tax revenue, $5.2 million in local revenue, and $3.5 million in state revenue. And the College World Series also supports more than 1,100 year-round jobs in Omaha, up from 850 in 2014. That are worth a collective $29 million in wages and salaries. But the biggest beneficiary of the entire tournament is probably local hotels. Because according to the same economic study, the 2019 College World Series and the youth tournaments that it brings to Omaha add up to a total of 41,430 hotel nights each year. And last but not least, the NCAA, of course, they benefit also. In 2011, the NCAA included the College World Series as part of a $500 million television deal with ESPN for 24 sports championships each year over the next decade. And they were able to get that number because outside of football and basketball, baseball is one of the only collegiate sports that drives meaningful viewership on the championship level each year. For example, the tournament's final 3 games in 2019 averaged 2 million viewers on ESPN. Not only was that higher than the 1.6 million viewers ESPN averaged for Sunday Night Baseball, but the 29 championship game between Vanderbilt and Michigan was the most watched baseball game on ESPN for the entire year, including Major League Baseball games. So while many of you probably already know that March Madness brings in about 80% of the annual revenue for the NCAA each year, I think it's also important to note that the College World Series is certainly not financially irrelevant.